Hi, another film I watched this weekend was Highlander 3 The Sorcerer, also released as Highlander The Final Dimension. It came out in 1994, a couple of years after the notorious Highlander 2 The Quickening, which is available as a Cinema Limbo podcast. And I was intrigued to see where the series could possibly go next. And the answer is up its own bottom. With this movie, we have essentially a retread of the first film. There's an evil immortal that Connor MacLeod has to fight to gain the ultimate victory and the ultimate quickening. Um, Now he's played by Mario van Peebles. We're told that his wife, whom he hooked up with at the end of the first film, has since died in a car accident. Um, and there's it's a it's a film that has so little to say and so little to do or think about. It's very disheartening. I made some notes that the editing is extremely bad. It chops randomly between scenes and between shots very badly. There's jump cuts from mid shots to long shots and back, and it's very hard to follow visually a lot of the time. There are subplots about the new female lead apparently having being a reincarnation of one of Connor's lost loves, um, which adds nothing to the story and goes nowhere and doesn't make any sense. There's, there's a very graphic, very explicit sex scene about two-thirds of the way through that's there for no reason. It serves absolutely no plot purpose and it feels really out of place with the rest of the film. And I've written down the ending. I struggle to remember. Oh no, the end. I remember now what happens with the ending. The ending is visually and aesthetically a straight rip-off of the end of Terminator 2. It's in the sawmill. There's someone shouting John all the time. There's an evil guy who's very hard to kill running about. It's it's so lazy. It's it's so stupid. The original Highlander concept of these immortals living through time and occasionally battling each other, and they can only be killed through decapitation, and the last survivor will win the prize, which we find out at the end of the first film is the knowledge of all living things and the ability to create a better world for all of humanity. It's a very high fantasy concept, and the second film tried to do something different and original. And whether or not that worked is a matter of discussion. The third film doesn't even try. It's just a straight rip-off, a straight retread of the original movie. It's very, very weak. I'm really astonished that around the same time the Highlander TV series started, which ran for 6 years, and it was that would then provide the source material for the next two Highlander films, Highlander Endgame in 2000, which was a crossover with the movies with the leads of both Christopher Lambert and Adrian Paul meeting up. And then in 2007, Highlander The Source, originally intended as a theatrical release and wound up going straight to cable television. Um, there is apparently a new Highlander movie in pre-production to be directed by Chad Stahelski from the John Wick movies and starring Henry Cavill. It's set to have a $200 million budget. It's due to go into production later in 2025. I am very skeptical about this because the original works because I think of its aesthetics and the incidental details and the fact that you don't think about the central concept too much. How that will work in the modern day, I don't know, because the John Wick movies have a very solid grounding, I think, that the Highlander movies don't offer. Highlander 3 is an example of what happens when you just have the very basics and you have a movie made by people who don't care, and the result is a load of rubbish.